So do you guys focus, basic operation science mechanics is, you need to know where your bottleneck is. Do you do the calculations to understand that? Does everybody understand that? And then maybe how it might change different depending on product mix?
We would know where our bottlenecks are there's two elements to it, right? There's bottlenecks within the overall value stream, and there's bottlenecks within the process. Bottlenecks within the process, we've got a pretty good handle on. We know the different cycle times of the different processes on a line, and we sort of see where the inventory builds up and then burns down. We've had some really good examples where rapid problem solving has allowed us to say, I'm constantly getting inventory build up here. And when you go and have a look, actually some of the settings have been changed and certain things are running faster than they should be. So actually, in that case, it might be a case of let's just go back to standard and reset those. In terms of the value stream, we would catch that through value stream mapping, and you'd start to see. So a good example, we mapped our pilot value stream. We were looking at the inventory in between all of the different cells, the different departments that we have in that value stream. And all of the inventory at that point is unconstrained. So if you want to keep an asset running to utilize your equipment and make sure that everything looks good financially, you can run your non-bottleneck asset and it can pile up in the warehouse. And we did see that. We saw that we'd probably been doing that and not. I don't think it was, nobody was doing it on purpose, but we were doing it just because we were in the middle of it. When we came up with our future state design, we put some controls in place about how we allow inventory to flow. What's the maximum number of batches that we allow to sit in between two processes? And, we're talking about over £1 million worth of inventory. Straight away it had gone. It had no impact on the downstream flow. What it did mean is that when the downstream process started to struggle and fall behind and the FIFO lane filled up, you would end up stopping the upstream process. And all of a sudden, that creates an urgency, creates a burning platform. We then cross-trained the two teams. So as soon as this team starts to struggle, this team goes on stop. They've got nothing to do. So we said, well, you go and learn this, and we can create capacity over here, and flow improves. And we had some really good examples of where, one, you're cross-training, so you're developing people. They get to learn some new skills. People understand the overall value stream and better. But also, we just improve flow and we keep inventory down, so we're not tying up the company's cash.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's a great way to flexible capacity is a great way to manage variability in the operation science construct. And the other thing about that, so that's very similar to case study use case for operation science and medical. I mean, the point is operation science we doesn't apply everywhere. It's not very good science, but same sort of thing happened. And what I thought I heard you say is we had teams trained on a process center close to them in the process, right? They're not cross-trained on everything, but they're able to move to one or two places, which sounds like a very nice balance, back to the balance between people and processes. Is that right?
Well, in this example, the team that we were training, they were training on the area that was struggling to get the throughput, and therefore the FIFO. So that maybe they had an issue, maybe they lost the machine for a couple of days, and therefore the FIFO lane filled up and everything goes on stop. We train the people to go and help add capacity to that area. It pulls it all through and allows them to get back to their normal department. So that's worked really well. And the feedback from the team has been great. They're learning a new process and they're doing something a bit different. And therefore, when times get hard, we can move those people around, and they do so in the right way. They enjoy that, and it's been good for everybody.